Hi, my name is Doctor Warrick Bishop and welcome to my podcast and videocast station. As always, I'm super grateful you've taken a moment to tune in, but I'm also super grateful that I have the opportunity to interview today and speak with today Mark Fox. He's an author, an entrepreneur, a rocket scientist, and he is CEO and founder of Resona Health. And in part one, where I had the chance to meet Mark and speak with Mark for the first time, we were talking about electromagnetic field therapy and its impact on cells. It's been around for years and vets have used it on horses, yet we don't seem to use it on us. Hi, Mark. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
So if you missed part one, go back and listen. Mark's story is fascinating. He started life as I think it was a wallpaper hanger, then became a rocket scientist, and then has been caught up in being caught up in women's clothing, and now really interested in this space of pulsed electromagnetic field therapy and health. Quick recap is that this concept of introducing energy to cells and using electromagnetic waves, introducing this energy to cells allows those cells to work better, producing more energy within the cell. And if you can make cells work better and they function better, they're less likely to progress to disease and they're more likely to heal. So, Mark, you alluded to your dog being the catalyst for you starting up Resona Health, but tell me more about the device and how would you describe that device?
Well, it looks like, if anyone's old enough to remember an old iPod, the first music players before the little stick, I purposely designed it for familiarity to look like that. So it has the wheels and the function and the user interface. Most people will not get this, but plus I think it's cool. The colors that are on the screen, for the people who can't see them, they're the same colors as a Star Trek recorder. Bones would go woo-hoo with the colors on it. So I did all those things with the marketing design to make it look familiar. But what I did say in the first session is it's actually a music player. It doesn't make sound. It doesn't have a speaker. I mean, you can hear a little slight buzzing if you put it up to your ear, but it's an MP3 songs that are playing through a coil that are creating this magnetic field or this symphony of energy. And it is a symphony because it's songs that are, some are simple, some are more complex. PTSD is the most complex one because it's in every part of your body. So you have to target it and move every 1 to 4 minutes. And I don't know even if you know this, but we can now see PTSD in the cell. You can see it in the cell structure, and you can now see at that level if it's had an effect to make it better or worse. So it's pretty interesting.
Look, this is science that's sort of beyond my normal wheelhouse, to be honest. But let me try and understand. You've got a device that's the size of one of the original big Apple iPods. How does it work? Do you put it around your neck? Do you wear it in a pocket? If you've got a sore ankle, do you strap it to your leg? How does that work, Mark?
So you wear it with a lanyard around your neck, kind of like a badge you would at a conference. And this is where some of the physics get involved, and there can be some arguments, but the magnetic field itself drops off really fast with distance. All magnetic fields do.
Yes.
So it doesn't travel very far with the magnetic field by itself, but this is the theory. It's resonating, three things. It's resonating with the water in your body. So like throwing a pebble in a pond, it makes that wave. And the reason we believe that is because if you're not hydrated, it doesn't work as well.
Okay.
Now, we know there has to be a path that's different than just the magnetic field because putting it around your neck can't help a broken foot with the magnetic field by itself. So number one is it's resonating water in your body. That's the theory. Number two, you remember school is an alternating magnetic field is going to be an alternating electrical current and vice versa. So your body is got high resistance, but it is electrically conductive. As you know, you can electrocute yourself to death, right? So there's a super, 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 super low electrical current. If anyone's familiar with a TENS unit, this is 1,000 times less than a TENS unit. But that's another path of how the energy could transfer through the body. The third one that nobody I've ever heard say, except me, and it's still a theory, is magnetite, which is found in birds and sea turtles to migrate, has very recently been found in human cells. So my magnetite. So,
Magnetite.
so my logic is a magnetic field can transfer energy to another. So if each cell has a little magnet in it, that would allow it to transfer that as well. So you wear it with a lanyard around you, or put it in your pocket. Or I've given up on fighting this one because the women won't listen to me anyway. They never have. They put it in their bra. So all the women put it in their bra. It's funny because I get this all the time. It's like, what happens if I get it wet? And I go, you dropped it in the toilet. And they're like, what are you, a psychic? I go, no, that's the only way it can get wet. I don't know what you guys do in the bathroom, but you drop it. So hit it with a blow dryer and get it. We've now actually added a little water barrier. It's got some vents in it for people that can't see to help cool it, because it does get up to like 105 Fahrenheit because it's putting out quite a bit of energy.
Yep.
Gosh, we have a barrier now on the latest version to try and keep the toilet water out. But
let me offer a fourth potential mechanism. If you're able to hang it around a lanyard and still see benefits remotely, perhaps as the cells, red blood cells, white blood cells of the body are passing through the region, they're being charged, then moving out, and they may be moving more freely or functioning better or transferring oxygen better, or the white cells may be repairing better, or reducing inflammation more effectively because they're, if you like, being charged up centrally and then going out to do their job distally in the tissues. I'm not sure. I've got no idea, but conceptually that sounds possible to me because the blood will be flowing right underneath where you're wearing your device.
Conceptually, yes, that could very well be. And another one is, and again, I'm not a doctor. People didn't hear that before. I'm a rock scientist, but I'm doing all that. I didn't get into the vagus nerve because I don't understand it. I didn't at all. Been studying it and studying it and studying and seeing how much data is. If you tone your vagus nerve, if you get it at the right frequency and harmony, it fixes a lot of stuff. Okay. So actually researching and saw a doctor presenting. It was a TED talk, I believe. And the vagus nerve, connected to your brain, it comes down both sides of your neck. And in humans, it actually makes kind of a curve at the sternum, then goes to all your organs and the rest of the body. So the device we're going to have coming out the first of the year is a pendant that you wear like a necklace at the vagus nerve. And so this is, I mentioned on the first episode that one of the biggest studies of one of our competitor partner pals, okay, they did a huge vagus nerve toning study, found out we know what the right frequency is. We know what the right song and recipe is now. They did 40 people on PMF and vagus nerve. So I'm trying to come up with a attractive wearable that's a necklace that a man or woman could wear. And this device, the Vibe, I tried to make it as simple as I could. It's alphabetical. You pick the one you want, you hit play, you put it in your pocket. It is way easier, which doesn't seem possible. You hit the on button. That's it. You can't do anything. There's no power level. There's no screen. You don't select anything. So I'm trying to make this one so simple it shouldn't need any instructions. It's kind of like
And that new device is vagus nerve specific?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Vagus nerve specific.
What do you call your other device, the pocket device?
Vibe.
What do you call it?
Vibe. VIB.
So
vibration.
The Vibe device you would wear it in the same place, but it might have an influence on the vagus if you hit the right program, and it might have an influence on other things. Would that be correct?
That's absolutely right. You were writing right now because the one I was just talking about, the pendant doesn't exist yet. So we're doing the vagus nerve study with this first.
Perfect.
To make sure it's working. Yes.
Makes sense. So for those listening, I really do think this area is way underrepresented in medicine. There are robust studies just to validate Mark's position on this. Some of those studies have shown in double-blind randomized trials using pulsed electromagnetic field therapy can halve fracture healing time. And that really got my attention. In your own experience with your Vibe device, Mark, have you seen healing of things like wounds or bones influenced by people wearing the device around their neck, or anecdotal or any observational recorded data in that space?
Absolutely. And I can't say his last name because it's about 90 letters, right? Doctor, he's a veterinarian in Colorado. He uses this technology and my device 20 to 30 times a day for spayed neuters, for wound healing.
Yeah, okay.
So we use it on horses quite a bit because they hurt themselves a lot.
Yep.
This is kind of a cool one. What we're right now is I'm working with the zoo because the zoo animals hurt themselves and each other. And it's the strategy that we have there is on a horse, we can strap it on their neck with an elastic band on their vagus nerve. Horse love it. They're fine with it for relax and balance and allergies and stuff. Rhinoceroses don't want anything strapped to them, nor do giraffes. So what we're doing is you can actually infuse it into water and creams, epidermal creams. And so by the way, you're a doctor. I can actually get, if I wanted to, I could get cocaine easier than I can epidermal cream. It's like, you can't get it stuff if you're not a doctor, but we're trying to test some of that stuff is to infuse the energy into the cream. And anecdotally, it shows that the frequencies will stay in water about 6 hours and cream about 30 days. Wow. So for wound healing on elephants and rhinos and porcupines, whatever in a zoo, we're testing all that stuff as well. And I did not the largest, a very, very large study with dogs and PTSD. And it's a no-kill shelter here in Florida. That's 850 dogs. My rationale was all of them or a large percentage could have PTSD because they're in jail and they didn't do anything wrong.
Yep.
What I didn't know, and I screwed up, was what I measured was cortisol, assuming cortisol would come down if PTSD symptoms came down. That isn't true. People and animals with PTSD already have a low cortisol. So it screwed up the whole study. I was like, what I've now learned after I spent all that time and effort on it was the main measurement to use, and the Veterans Administration agrees now, to measure success in PTSD is, does your heart rate variability go up? Yeah. So we're targeting everything on heart rate variability on these studies now, but live and learn.
Yeah, no, absolutely fascinating. So tell us where, if there are people listening, where would they be able to get a Vibe device? For those in Australia, there's every chance I'll be reaching out to Mark after this podcast and organising to bring some in. So if you want to explore whether a Vibe device is good for you, drop us a note at info@drwarrickbishop.online and I'll have those devices. We'll be getting some in and hopefully helping Mark get these wonderful pulsed electromagnetic field devices into Australia. But for those who want to know more about you on the website, tell us a bit about where they go and what they can look for, Mark.
So what we'll do is for your listeners, we'll just create a unique page, resona.health, there's no .com, and we can / whatever we want to call it. We can call it Dr. Bishop if you want.
That sounds great.
So resona.health / Dr. Bishop. And just so everyone knows, we ship worldwide for free.
Right.
So
Resona.health / Dr. Bishop
/ Dr. Bishop.
/ Sounds perfect.
And they retail for $399. We'll give your listeners $150 off so they can get them for $249. So it's far better crying a $7,000 mat, which is what a mat's going to cost you.
Mats are very expensive. Well, that's an amazing opportunity. I really appreciate the discount. I'm sure those listening would appreciate the discount. I have been blown away by our own experience in our wellness center with pulsed electromagnetic field therapy and the impact it has on people. I'm a little bit like you, Mark. I haven't completely got a full understanding of the science, but I'm seeing the outcome. And I think for those who really do have any queries or questions about their own health, chronic aches and pains, anxiety, as you alluded to, PTSD, is a significant one, but I think other inflammatory processes, arthritis, multiple sclerosis, if you have the funds to explore this, I think it's got to be worth a go. And I'll leave you to look it up on what's the web address again?
resona.health/Dr. Bishop.
Well, after this wonderful series of interviews, Mark, I feel charged up, and I'm absolutely delighted to have shared with you. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thanks again for having me. That's fantastic.
For those listening, do take advantage of that offer. That's at resona.health/Dr. Bishop, and get some more information about this technology that has been, I think, wrongly hidden from us and can really offer something that's adjunct or even separate to our current therapies. So thanks once more, Mark. For those listening, it's Mark Fox. He's an entrepreneur. He's CEO of Resona Health. He's an author and a rocket scientist. Again, really always appreciate you listening. If you have any queries or questions, drop us a note at info@drwarrickbishop.online. Until next time, I hope you live as well as possible. For as long as possible, take care and bye for now.